Yo, what is up? I'm back and we're back. Draft is back and yeah, we got some heat. I'm gonna give you a breakdown of the draft first and foremost, and then we'll go over 6 games. There's 12 teams, and this is the Heat Connoisseur Draft League. It is Gen 7. So there is a lot of things different from the current gen. Just to name a few, different PP on moves like, let's say, Roost. Some mons don't have certain moves. And yeah, a whole bunch of Z moves in this. No Terra. So there are Z captains, right? Each team gets allotted a total of 2 Z captains for the split amount of 20 points. And yeah, no Omni boosting is allowed, and no baton pass. Hidden power is back and it's in big effect. So we have that one guy versus a very great PokeTuber here. Encapsulates Heat, Lord Emvee, and we're gonna go through each game that we have here in yeah, I'll just review and break it down. So I'll run it in slow right now to give a play-by-play, and then thoughts on what I think is going on between each player's headset. Enough of me rambling on. All right, so yeah, that one guy's team looks very scary, especially with things like beast boosting Nihilego and Blacephalon, along with Webb's potential here. Like, we do have clear body on Reggie, but don't know if that will make much of a difference. Good rapid spinner here, but very weak to, like, I don't remember if it has CC this gen. I'm gonna assume it doesn't. This is Mega though. It has flamethrower and stuff like break as well. 1000 arrows looks amazing here, especially once this is gone. And hidden power ice on Zygarde could be a thing. Let's get into it, right? All right. Oh yeah, I meant to speak leads into existence. Okay, so first and foremost, yeah, this definitely scares this away. Unless you're something like Shadow Sneak, this could definitely be something like Sash. I did watch a little bit of the battle, but I didn't want to spoil myself, so I didn't see anything past turn 2. So Mutt comes in here and we get the Mind Blown, doing half to each, but the Eye Papa Berry brings it right back. Okay, so Eye Papa, that is not nerfed, so it did, I think it recovers like half health when you're at 33 or less, or 25. Yeah, it should be 25 or less. Wait, no. Do you have Gluttony? Okay, so this is Gluttony. Okay, that's nasty work. So there's a lot of Gluttony sets out there that have access to like recycle something like Applin, right? Or is that the one I'm thinking of? The dang apple pie. Sheesh. I think I've seen Emvee use that recycle berry with something like that. Amazing healthy restore. Mind blown. You can't keep spamming that. You're dead on the next one due to this guy's specific HP stat value. So you have pursuit in this meta, and yeah, that's just done and done. All right, so curse. All right, we're boosting up. Liquidation is gonna do some pretty decent damage, but not after that boost. It is getting good rolls for sure, and the Eye Papa Berry pops because the recycle just brought it back up. So yeah, that is nasty work. Yeah, this would be nasty with any ghost type mon too, if it could curse and then just heal up that immediate back. So switching out, probably fearing the trick. Will-O-Wisp comes out too. That is also an option. That does near half. And Cryogonal is a Spadef bulky mon. So this comes in, probably has Brick Break. I'm gonna assume it doesn't have CC. We get the Mega Evolution and Knockoff. Alright, so Scarf Kiss, that is nasty work. Having those flinches available. But we see the Roost on Scarf, so that might have been a trick set. Or assuming that, you know, you're gonna get knocked off. That is a smart move. Pain Split, getting some HP back. Cryogonal doesn't have the best HP stat, if I recall. I might be wrong. Freeze Dry. And Fearing the Rock move comes out into Registeel and throwing up those rocks. Alright, Gliscor comes in here with the Seismic Toss onto it. It's gonna pop that Toxic Orb and get some chip health. Not immediately though. Alright, coming into the rocks, not heavy duty boots. It does exist in this meta. So this is a free spin or freeze dry. Alright, or recover. Good move. Alright, so Geese is in on Registeel and the double. Good double. Right into Absol. I want to try to pronounce this, right? Etoferatofe. I don't know that reference. But we got the SD, and that is kind of scary there. There is no body press. So Seismic Toss is Registeel's best move at this moment. Outside of counter, that is. So perfectly EV to eat a +2. That is amazing. Can't really heal unless there's Wish on Togekiss. Liquidation gets the crit. This is going to take out Togekiss after those rocks. And Glade is mega in this. And Zen Headbutt's going to do half if the flinch is there. No. Doing half even. Clean to each other. Getting right out of there. So this makes me think, oof. Okay, so definitely won the Wisp, right? Wisp on anything is nice. I think I would have likely sacked something else, like, because the webs are nice too, if it does have it. Like, all these are actually nice, but if anything was to be sacked, because I mean, this could still have Leaf Blade, right? I think it gets it in this generation. It should. But on the off chance that it doesn't have Leaf Blade, I think something else was to be sacked, because you do bring this in with Rotom being here for sure, especially if you got the Wisp going out, because nothing really appreciates it outside of like maybe Reggie and Cry. All right, Drain Punch is gonna knock that out and heal it almost, well, right above the yellow. So back into green, back into the Fiend, get Protect. In sub, I think that was a good read. You don't get triple axle. You do have access to Ice Punch, I believe, and Ice Punch goes off and does 72 damage. Knockoff doesn't even break it. Seeing Knockoff makes me think there's no Earthquake, or they tried to read that, but behind the sub, I don't think you would switch out. So yeah, good move here. Ice Punch into that. Zen Headbutt's gonna knock that out if it connects. I hate this move. This is my least favorite move ever. Like, the amount of accuracy that it has for the damage that it does. Speaking of which, I just spoke that into existence. So we see a Z Acid Downpour. That's gonna definitely break the sub. That might have been a last ditch effort, basically, knowing that if they hit with the Zen Headbutt, it's downed. So Ice Punch, definitely gonna take that out. Let's go over the heat we saw. I think I want to see like all the heat and just make a remark on it. Specifically this recycle Berry Gluttony, heat, definitely. Let's give it a heat rank of, let's say, from 1 to 5. I think this is a 3 on the heat scale for sure. I'm gonna try to be as you know, because I expect to see heat all throughout here. This is really heat. Roost on Choice Scarf. I wish I could see the rest of that, but that is pretty heat, I would say. I'm gonna give it a 2. All right, and we didn't get to see much of everything. Great coverage on Glade here. Counter was amazing. I give that a heat rank of 2. Like, I think I'm gonna give 1 star for each like heat value. Like, you don't see recycle, Berry plus the Gluttony. Like, that's a 3 stack of amazing. Pursuit as well. As far as here, the Mind Blown is always dope. But it's a move to expect from there. Acid Downpour to be expected. SD, that. So pretty standard from what was shown. Pretty dope though. Let's move on. Go right into it. All right, so we got Misty Ketchhhh and Manuel TMT. Ketch is captain of the Salty Artillery, coach of the Durala Dons. All right, so Manuel, going by Manuel. Ketch, going by Ketch. All right, so going right into it. I can see a lead of Ferrothorn or Lando if we're gonna be basic. This is actually a great lead too, especially into these mons. If you're Scarf, U-turn for Zam, fighting move for that. I think you have knockoff. I might be lying to myself. As far as them, of course, I could see T-Tar as a lead, Skarm as a. This probably works better as a pivot into Lando. Clef is also a potential lead. You don't get Gunk Shot, I think. I'm not entirely certain. So I can see a fire move on Clef, baiting in Pharaoh maybe. Yeah, pretty great coverage. This could also be Scarf baiting this, having Ice Beam or something like that. Let's go right into it. Alright, so they both decide to leave their Mega at home. We do see a U-turn lead in a Rock weak armor. Okay, we seeing some heat start off. Lando's a move. Alright, into Brave Bird. So getting some chip damage on itself, but also Lando setting up on it. Smackdown, okay. So the weak armor makes it faster, but that much more frail. And it sees the Charty Berry, nice. Some good heat in the Yachi Berry. To be expected on Lando, and the Smackdown into Earthquake lays the Smackdown on Thunderous. Alright, Dazzling Gleam to Revenge right here on Lil Spoon. And Hydreigon comes out. I think that's Scarf hitting the U-turn, definitely. Could be a bluff as well. So lefties on both of these, I think. No item has been revealed. Likely Akka maybe. Manaphy comes in onto the Flamethrower. This does have energy ball coverage. We see Scald, no burn. Rain Dance is in. Okay, so that means Hydration is going to get rid of that paralysis. And doing more damage. Getting the burn off. And this turn we'll definitely see if it is unaware. So that's smart of Manuel. Not trying to boost on this. Hill Belt is also very clutch. Changing up the weather right here. Throwing off the Scald into a critical hit in the burn. That sand boost is nice. Okay, that's looking like it is Scarf potentially, depending on Manaphy's investment. Okay, so Manaphy went on a good tear right there. There is a Skarm with the chip off the Rocky helmet. bringing Hydreigon into the yellow and Skarm into +2 with a drop. But Rotom Fan is a good incision right there. Throwing off the Z power, we see Gigavolt Havoc, and that's gonna drop Toad, the Chandelure. Little Spoon comes in, throws off the Psychic, doing damage and throwing it down. Infernape. This is also Scarf. Alright, so I did call the Scarf Infernape. Might be a double Scarf core, and U-turn again. I don't know what kind of coverage this has. It's only U-turned. Not sure if it had anything to hit Clef, but we see the Flare Blitz doing near half, throwing Clef in the red, and another Flare Blitz should take it out. Getting that good chip on it. So good pivot for the potential damage. Alright, Flare Blitz knocks that out. Infernape will knock it out itself out in the aftermath as well. And it is 2-0. So that was pretty dope. Let's talk about Heat, right? Smackdown Earthquake Lando. We have seen variations of that, but it's always good to see. I give this a Heat rating of 2, because you know it's always great to see Heat. Like non-Heat would be just like, you know, standard sets and stuff like that. And a little bit of Heat would probably just be like a single consideration, possibly. So Gyro Ball, Gigavolt Havoc, Scarf, and I do like the Rain Dance. It is kind of standard to Hydration, Manaphy in some sets. Like I think specifically in Gen 7. I don't rack my Gen 7 brain. So I will give that a Heat rating of 1. That's 1 fire right there. Charting Berry was very smart. Definitely for the Smackdown, because I don't know what else at this moment was on the team to put on Charting Berry, but that was very smart. And the Hidden Power to cover for that. So I'll give that like a Heat rating of 1. Like it's pretty standard in draft to have a berry that, you know, weakens something you're super effective to, or you don't take well. I do like the weak armor. I'm gonna give that a Heat rating of 1, because otherwise you have Sturdy, which I mean I would guess that would be there for Infernape for sure. But yeah, that was dope to see weak armor. Pretty much a supportive set. Flamethrower, didn't get to see much of that doing anything. Great set on this. Moonlight only has 8 PP. Am I tripping? I've seen something else with 16, but Moonlight might just have 8 specific to it. I think it does have soft boiled, but I think it might clash with some stuff in this generation. I don't know. Crunch on Scarf, this pretty dope. Alright, let's move into the next one. That crit mattered so much, and yeah, that crit happens. I think the crit on the Manaphy is what Manuel was talking about there. So moving on to the next one. Alright, we have GDP. I think that stood for... Let me see if I remember off the top of my head. Maybe Golden Dialga Palkia. It's something. Giratina Dialga Palkia, maybe? I don't know. I think it's an adjective, so sorry I don't recall right now. But they are the coach of the Dreepy Shooters. And going up against Zam. Coach of Piggy Guys. Alright, so Zam and GDP. Very thick team over here. They did end up sniping, I think, one of my picks. I was trying to get, which was Mega Venusaur. I'm not even sure if this is the Mega, but I'm pretty sure it is. Especially with these two. Versus a pretty... This team looks very familiar. Like, maybe to Gen 7, whatever. But very good Z mons here they have. I remember this being their Z captain. And I can only assume Lycanroc is Z. Maybe Torn as well. I'll have Z's up here, so you can ignore my rambling. But as far as leads go, this is a great bring to counteract the weather here. Lycanroc is always a great lead or revenge killer with its priority rock move that is unique to itself. Klefki can be screens, it can be a setup mon as well. This could set up behind screens, and I don't believe you have access to Dragon Dance. So yes, Kieran Black is in this tier. Considered not as powerful back then. It does have a amazing attack stat, but not really much ways to use it. So we'll see if we see that here. It looks kind of scary into their team with Hippowdon, you know, being most of the bulk, but you do have to watch out for mixed sets into that. Well, I think personally this is like one of the best switch-ins in the game after it megas. But you do have the flying and the psychic type. If they end up hitting Hurricane, aka Mr. Mist, and just psychic moves into that is really good. So Incineroar is a good counterbalance. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so leading off with this does have access to screens, but probably just wanted to better have a switch in. So that's smart, getting that off turn 1. So the Intimidate's going to knock that down as far as damage goes, and you turn into Alolan Ninetales. So pivot on pivot and hazards go up. Alright, Klefki's here. It might set up screens beside it or paralyze. So this is a good move, throwing in the dark type in there. Alright, so they are hazard heavy right now. And we see there isn't any boots on this, if I'm correct. Hold on. Or we'll find out. So no boots on this. Jon Snow taking a good amount down to yellow on switch in. So having Roost, good call. And Toxic just staying in. Good play right here. Turn 8 was crazy work. Slacking off. Excuse me. So I'm pretty sure they're feeling like you don't have anything. You do have the Yachi, which was knocked off. Yet they still don't fear not a damn thing. And the best hippo to have. I don't know if that's intentional, but oh nice. See him on the Ninetales. And this is Hell, so they're taking chip damage, and it doesn't have the defense boost that you would get from Snow, because Snow doesn't exist unless you're in Texas. Well, I mean, that was ice. But anyway, Toxic all aboard. So I do like their game plan here. Volt Absorb, trying to catch maybe something switching in. They could spam it possibly with the Pain Split. So they do stay in. So yeah, Zam's playing very well. Both have all 6 of their Mons playing very well, preserving. Hippowdon's back in. And let's see, you do have 16 slack offs. So yeah, recovery is strong in this generation. I think, wait, I think Regenerator was stronger in this generation too. I might be tripping. I don't remember when it got nerfed, but I just remembered that Regenerator did get nerfed. Giga Drain is gonna heal with alongside the Papa Berry. Sludge Bomb's gonna do that much. So I can see a Synthesis right now from here, but I don't think it's gonna heal up as big, of course, because of the weather. Klefki's in probably to set up some more spikes. And there is more spikes indeed. I don't even recall how those spikes got off. Okay, defog on Thundy. Makes sense. So this is going to come into the red after this turn ends, unless it has the Roost. So foul play is nice, only does about 1/3. And rock slides doing nothing. So the coverage on this is dragon and rock at the moment, but it is rocked to bed. All right, so thunderbolt doing half. Foul play, like Zam is chipping GDP down, and we see the Z move black hole eclipse into the Rotom, which does knock it out. The first Mon going down at turn 29. So Mach Punch comes here. Makes sense. It's dead. It's done. I can't remember if that has, yeah, it does have aerial ace. So I would guess this is definitely Technician, and you have Mach Punch here to clean that out. So Ghost goes down, going Ghost. I don't know if they named it that because of they have a dog named Ghost probably, or hey, if I was Ghost Terra, that would have been nice. So Jon Snow, Tyrion, Ned, Jamie, Sophie. Okay, so dope. All right, and yeah, Zam played very well. We didn't even see Mew gets come out. Yeah, spikes and toxic and hazards and status. Oh my, very well played by Zam. As far as heat goes, I guess I can't really consider having coverage necessarily heat, but I don't know. My flip flop. Defog, Calm Mind. Like Calm Mind on Sophie was pretty dope. I'll give that. Like we don't see that much at all, and I forgot if it got the boost having Nasty Plot, or not the boost, but the buff. So kind of standard stuff here. I'll give Sophie 1 fire for the heat. And this was just well played. Not heat really, but like just ballsy work for sure. So amazing plays, amazing game. All right, we have here Speed Sapphire, or Saf, you can call them, versus Molly, or Mask, as in Masquerade 19. I don't know if you like being called Molly or Mask, but coach of the New York Masquerade, coach of the Crimson Shurikens. So Saf here has a pretty bulky ass team for sure. Lantern, Florges, Crest, Talonflame, Crook with Intimidate if you want to consider that, and Celesteela. So very bulky team versus a very offensive team. You have Victini. What the hell? You have Victini, Scizor, Lottie with the not yet boosted Luster Purge, so you're gonna see Psychic or Psyshock. Lycanroc, one to not be overlooked, and Tapu Fini as well as Rotom. Rotom I don't believe has Nasty Plot yet. Fini does what Fini does, and it's looking like they do have access to defog among 4 Mons, but I don't see much stuff going up. If rocks go up, it's from Crook, and this could be a lead, I definitely think, because I think you get I want to say you get close combat. I could be wrong, I probably am, but as far as leads, you have a lot of potential leads here. I could see Scarf Crook being a thing. You do have to watch out for getting switched in on, but you have some good pivots outside of not having Baton Pass there. Hard to break, but let's see what goes on here. Alright, so Spinner comes in versus Lycanroc, dropping it. Let's see, knockoff, and the Focus Sash is not into the break, so no CC, doing damage but -1. Knockoff again, spamming. So this is Mega Scizor, ta-da, and U-turn. Victini comes out, likely to throw out a V-Create. So The Protect is smart, scouting to see if it is a trick variant, or not trick, but choice scarf or choice banded, choice locked. So Lantern comes in. This probably takes about 1/4, if 1/2. Holy shit, that is a lot of damage. Lantern does have a amazing HP stat, but not so much on the defenses. So switching out there, immediately going to their Z moves and almost taking it out. I Pop Berry, super strong this generation. Volt Switch with the invisible the invisible sash. Lycanroc trying to get the kill off of there, but cannot. Endeavor is smart. It's gonna leave Kaguya very low. Kaguya. So Pursuit could have been an option there, as well as Knockoff or Bullet Punch. Knockoff is the move. You're not choice locked because you're Mega. Leech Seed Protect is a thing here, but just go straight for the sack. I think they want to avoid the avoid having that in. Okay, we do see the Pursuit. Dope. So this is likely Scarf. Well, it is Scarf. You outsped Lycanroc. But has to switch out there, so U-turn might come out here on Ida. Sakura. Okay, so Naruto references. I think Spinner. I don't recall. Wait, Spinner. That's My Hero Academia, right? The lizard thing. So, yeah. Either way, Memento down into the Kaguya, which was low, but it did recover. And how? Wait, huh? What I miss? Because you were at 20. Unless Lantern has Wish, which it does get access to. If I'm, am I wrong? I might be wrong. Oh, Florges. Wish into Kaguya, Memento into Kaguya. So, good move. They got the screens. This might be CM. Okay, so CM taunt would be very smart. Calling it. All right, so Draining Kiss plus Water move or Stored Power. You don't have Stored Power yet. So taunting, smart move. You do get access to Heavy Slam, and I think there's another grass move you get. So Ice Beam. Okay, Ice Beam. What's the other move? And the item is Lefties. So Moonblast, the move there. I think their only means of trying to kill this is Crook, which needs a crit, which doesn't get, and it gets hit. So Spinner is down. Ida comes in, and it takes out the Fini. So you get the +1 defense. Volt Switch comes out here, clear as day, and Scizor being the only other. Since that's low, you do get Bullet Punch kill into that possibly, depending on like its investment in this investment. Knockoff. So you're gonna do less unless you have a boosting move. So Kaguya, very smart to preserve, getting that Wish in there. Hidden Power, Fire, spamming. That's gonna take the kill right there. So needing to go this, that's not gonna do enough, and Sakura is going to spread out those Petal Blossoms. So nice, pretty dope game. Let's see the Heat. Pretty dope having Pursuit. Can't say that's necessarily Heat nor the Cella, because that's the common. Defog, Wish, Moonblast, like great mon to have. Hidden Power, Fire, good coverage. So no mons for Heat there. Leaf Storm, Volt Switch, Ice Beam, Moonblast. I'll go ahead and give this a Heat rating of 1 there. like taunt CM is a the common, not the common one, but a common, not a common one, but an uncommon set that is known out there. But I do like screens. Lottie, I'll give that a 1 star on Heat. Definitely great to help set up, especially alongside Memento. And yeah, pretty dope stuff. And we're gonna move on to game number 5. Okay, so this is Spazz, aka Master Hand, aka yours truly, versus Mommy Phil, coach of the Charizards. No, there's no H in there. Charizards, I think. Let me get it right. Let's throw some respect. Charizard, right? Okay. So, if you would be able to let me shorten this, Phil, just gonna break you down through the play-by-play before the plays are made. So just being as ignorant as I can into them, I think I would think this guy here thinks Crobat lead, Garchomp lead, possibly Seismitoad lead, right? And they're probably thinking, Rabombi is a common lead that can be there. Rachi, maybe, whatever. So let's go play by play. All right, so they lead comfy, and of course Persian's switching out, avoiding any kind of draining move because I have Liquid Ooze, but they trick me a Choice Scarf. So yeah, now they trick me another Choice Scarf, taking my weakness policy. Such a thief. Cthulhu comes back in, and they have the U-turn. So smart move by them. Either scouting or just knowing that I cannot hit them with a water move because they are water absorb. So excellent play here by Phil. And I do reveal that I have the Giga Drain coverage to hit said Seismitoad. So they U-turn out here, keeping amazing momentum. And I'm like, you don't see the hidden power that I bring here for the Seismitoad. And yeah, no Rindo Berry. And it does Earthquake and do very good damage. I get Hidden Power Chip on that. I bring in Pompous here. Potentially, bluffing what move I have there. But I'm knowing that I can kill it in one hit. So, hoping they would stay in, I revealed the Icy Wind, which does a good amount of damage. And showing I have Life Orb. So, I get some respect from my my guy here. My op, and I throw up the Reflect alongside their Light Screen. So Body Slam into them, hoping I get a para. I know my screens are going to stay longer and that their weakness policy. So Ice Punch into Zap, hoping I do good damage because I can't necessarily para it. And I throw off the Body Slam here. And the burn lets me know that I'm going to go down next turn. If I was to throw off an Ice Punch and get the freeze, they have Scald, so that would just break them right out. And I do get the pair. Not that it would matter. Alright, so Persian comes in here. I'm behind screens, hoping to set up a nasty plot, which I do. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to hit this. I wasn't sure if I killed or not, but forgot about Life Orb. And I don't see that this wore off here. So thinking that, I'm going to live a U-turn, which was definitely not the case. So that's me disrespecting Crobat for a second time, to the point of some detriment here. So Rabombi comes in, takes rocks, and throws off the webs. And I'm thinking there's some sense of defog somewhere on the team, possibly. So I sack that, and they show me they have the +2. And okay, so I'm thinking I'm a goner here, regardless, burn or whatever. I actually outspeed it with my investment too, because I believe am I modest? I might be modest too. Doing a good amount of damage, 3-hit KOing Metagross. But that Earthquake's gonna do some good damage. I live off of it. So I believe I call their read right here, right? They know that I'm choice locked from the amazing trick Comfey. And it is very desperate right here, right? They have 5 Mons. Although not really chipped that bad. They're all below like 75 for the most part. If we average it out, it's probably 6 something. I don't know. So I make the read here that they would go into Seismic Toad and bring in Pixie Sticks. So I get off a Moonblast. U-turn there wouldn't help. Kind of baiting in the Metagross and allowing that to go down. Because I have the Landorosu. So I throw off the Z move. Zapdos doesn't come in, Crobat doesn't come in, and that's phenomenal because if they do come in, they get slowed down because of gravity, which also gives me a +1 on my sheer force Earth Power. So that knocks that out. I'm not sure if it knocks it out here, but I click it anyway, depending on its investment. And Gin and Juiced is tearing through the rest of the team. Despite me thinking that, you know, I might have lost depending on their coverage. So I think this was a super heat game. I'll let you guys rate my team. However, as far as the games that we watched so far, this has been the most heat that I've seen, I think, here. Well, because I mean, Trick is a thing. I really like how they played. Maybe this might be recency bias, but yeah, they light screen U-turn Trick. I gotta give that a 3 on heat. Rock Polish, Meteor Mash, Earthquake. So last move is probably either Bullet Punch, Psychic move, or Ice Punch. Suffering from 4-move syndrome, unfortunately. Super Fang was really nice. Very typical set here. Infiltrator was probably amazing prep on them. If they are Infiltrator, like they very well could have been Inner Focus. Seismic Toad, doing Seismic Toad things, definitely. Based on Earthquake and Scald, definitely a defensive variant. I didn't get to unveil what kind of defensive, but very nice. But yeah, they were doing mad work between this Comfey and Seismic Toad. Like, amazing job. Okay, and we have our last game. We have the coach Knight, F3OP, coach of the Los Angeles Azules, versus coach BannanaSpeaker, or BannanaSpeaker, coach of the LA Rampardos. All right, and this is going to be our last game. So let's check out what could be leads here. A lot of lead potential over here from Knight. Aside from Zard, which I don't recall, but I do think that's base Zard. I don't remember. It could be X or Y, or not at all. I don't recall. I believe the Terek or Z captain was Coco. I would love to see physical Coco with the specific Z move. And I don't recall what's their Z cap on here, but of course I'll have it pulled up. That's Mega Kanga right there. So as far as the lead from here, it could definitely be like Scarf or support Mesprit. Even Sash Mamo is an option. Scarf could be an option from Memo too. Memo does a lot into their team super effectively, aside from Kanga, but it does have coverage for that, I believe, in this generation. I gotta get back to the Gen 7 mindset. I can definitely see Hidden Power coverage, especially for Heatran, maybe on Special Coco or Miss Spirit, among other things. I could see Zeraora leading, leading there, or even Mega Kanga. Donphan, I don't see much of a lead. You just get U-turned on or Ice Beamed or Ice Moved or that. So maybe that's in the back, but let's see what cracks. Alright, so we got the Donphan lead and the Mesprit lead. Knockoff immediately into the leftovers, and the Stealth Rock are up. So Hazards into U-turn. And Donphan likely clicks Knockoff there. So almost takes out the Starmie. Rapid Spin or Recover is probably likely there, and the Recover comes out. Scared from the Plasma Fist, and Knockoff is a good mid-ground option amongst everything here. So Z-Move, Zeraora, and Gigavolt have it to ensure the KO, or just anything switching in takes heavy damage. So Mega X. I don't think we got a Z-Zard yet, but we got Balloon Heatran. So this is pretty nice. We do see the Dragon Claw come out. Good coverage to have on this, even though it's usually like fire and ground coverage with DD or Roost or even Wisp sometimes. But D-Claw was smart just in case this was on a balloon. That way Earthquake is no longer out of the pocket. But a crit hit, Earth Power takes it out. Crit probably didn't matter there. And Electric Surge goes up into the U-turn. So I don't think it has, yeah, it does have Flame Body, possibly. Only took 38 from that. That's pretty nice. Knockoff back into it, but Lefty's already got knocked. Has the Life Orb, and Icicle Crash will hit and chip. So Kanga can clean this up here with a Fake Out potentially, but last ditch effort Ice Shard to get a little bit of damage on the table. Coco comes out here now. Okay. Wild Charge, I don't think kills, but like Z-Move probably does if it's electric, which it is not. Body Slam. So no Earthquake, Body Slam, missing out on the KO there. Not sure if that's because of specific investment or what. Knockoff. Take a shot for every knockoff and you'll be knocked out. Dang. Just did it. Nice charitable heal right there. A Volt Switch from Zera. Probably Wild Charge to try to catch the Volt Switch change into something. And Sky Strike, that's not going to kill Bulu. And Reflect goes up, gets the chip health off of Lefties in the grassy terrain. Able to eat that Brave Bird at 21 and just heal up even more. Grassy terrain boosted, Horn Leech, so much yum 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 yum. So going right into Heatran. Gets the roost off on Coco. Coco's near full. Heatran's near 75%. Toxic on the Tran. So that's going to get whittled away. And Tran kind of pinches here. Like Starmie's the likely come out. And Fire Move just takes care of Kartana behind the screen. It doesn't have to worry. So good Reflect. And we see its life... its leftovers clearly, because we already saw that. Wild Charge does take out the Kanga. Not enough recoil to take it out. Plasma Fist does the job right there. Pop quiz. How much PP does Plasma Fist have? Is it 8? Is it 16? It's 24. Crazy enough. Alright. So Earth Power into Starmie, takes it into the red. Recover is apparent there. We see Toxic again, and that was smart because there's only 2 Mons left. Fire Move could have came out right there, but Toxic was a smarter move, because Toxic into this is null because it is a Steel type. So Starmie's back at full, taking a pull of Toxic and damage. 57 now on Latios. From the Ice Beam, and Draco just drops it while it drops a special attack. Knockoff again, take a shot, knocks off the Soul Dew, and we get the Beast Boost. Knockoff, oh, even if this crits. And I was in this battle, I was eating my bowl of ice cream and some cookies there. See, so yeah, good call on crit, but the crit did not matter, unfortunately. Pretty great game. Pretty back and forth with the crits and whatnot. Z Coco showed off all the moves, physical Coco, and it took a chunk. So yeah, I like the teams that was brought between the both. Good showcase of Bulu. Just eating the other Tapu deity, saying, I'm gonna scare you out, even though you have the superpower move. So pretty standard stuff. All things considered, knockoff. These guys are just knocking each other out. Knockoff. And knockoff is a move that is really good to use. So as far as heat, I would definitely give Bulu like 1-star heat on the reflect, and then just its performance itself. Reflect Bulu is pretty dope, but very well played game. So that's all the games for the week. Let me know if you think anything was heat that I did not give a rating to, and then also rate my own team heat. Can't wait to see the next week unfurl. We got the first game of all the coaches out, so seeing what some can do for sure leaves me excited to see more. So bring the heat, and you already know, keep playing, have fun, see you in the next one. Peace.